Need time to talk about it.
We
Wow,
live.
welcome back.
Yeah,
Welcome
we're
back,
back. Hold on. Well, I tell you what, that's crazy, man. I tell you. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Maybe she feel better. Welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live with your host, Tony Redford, and my co-hosts, LaDonna Sherwood and Francis Lawkins.
Knowledge is Power Podcast Live starts now.
Right now, we can start all over again. Now, listen, people, this is part 2 of tonight's podcast. My
Roundtable
co-host,
talk.
LaDonna, she took a picture off the place. She cut us off the air. This is the first night she's been the administrator of
It's
the
just a little
podcast,
dark. That's all. True.
and she wants. Yeah, now you understand what I go through when I'm behind here, pushing buttons, and you understand that, right? You
Being Big
understand?
T,
Now you
huh?
knocked
What's
me
that,
off.
Big T?
You knocked us off air again. Your ass is mine. I'm taking.
I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I will take my administrative duty from you because you messing up. You took us dead off the air while we was in the middle of our
Of a heated
discussion,
conversation.
a heated conversation. So we welcome everybody back to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. We're able to get back on. We have to wait 10 minutes before we can get back on again on a new podcast. So I'll be tagging everyone else again, let you know that we're back on air. Now, our discussions tonight is about the Beaumont City Manager discussion. We're talking about that. And hopefully that our anonymous guest would join us so that she can tell us, or he can tell us, what is going on the campus of Lamar University. We're waiting on that. Also, we're waiting on Eugene Howard. Hey, Francis.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, look who showed up. Francis showed up. Francis Larkin, my other co-host. Well,
Hey, guys.
tonight is Roundtable Talk, and we talk about about anything and everything. But we had a couple of topics that we really want to address today, and that was the city council of Beaumont. He needs to stay another 6 months after he retired? Who decided that? Did he decide it or the council decided it? I already know. I already know.
This is
I'm
the
just
city
trying, I'm
manager.
trying to make the show. I'm trying to make the show
Kyle
look. I make it
Hayes,
sound like the show look good. But anyway, he filed for retirement, and in that
Second. This is the second time, by the way.
second retirement, okay.
Yeah.
And he
Second time he's filed for
requested that,
retirement.
not requested. He in statements he said, "Well, I'm going to stay another 6 months. I'm retired. I'm retiring, but I'm going to stay till April."
I thought it was June.
June? No, I think it was April.
It was
May.
between April and June.
All right. So why should he stay? And he's been here 20 years. We've been a lame duck for 20 years. Why should he stay for another 6 months if you retired in November? Why don't the city council just say, "Hey, listen, we're just going to part company. We thank you. You go ahead and retire. We want to start a new year off right."
It's called saving face.
I was about to say.
It's called saving face.
Hire interim
That's all.
city manager. I don't know. And you got time to find you, hire a outside source to find you the right
City manager.
the city manager. So that's what my talk is right now. That's my talk right now, and that's what I think we need to feel. But what we kind of want to do now that Howard Eugene has jumped in, and I guess he's froze up. Yeah, I can't hear you either, man. You got to go to the city and talk to us on this podcast, man. You that internet you got,
Hey
man.
Tony,
That's that popcorn bubblegum
he's here in
internet.
Beaumont.
Oh, he is. He
He's
must.
here in Beaumont right now. So
Oh, he is. He must be in the
internet
parking
should be
lot of Dollar
good.
Tree.
Hey man,
Uh,
no. If he here in Beaumont, the Wi-Fi is horrible everywhere on every service provider
you
you
got to
can
be
jump on.
kidding me.
I promise to goodness,
That
man. It's
is
like,
that is true.
man, bro. When I tell you gentrification in the Wi-Fi, y'all better pay attention to what's going on, man. They
You
will
got
block you out of. They will decrease the bandwidth of Wi-Fi that passes across your neighborhood. Completely
That's
skip
right.
you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell
you
you.
got to be kidding me.
Man, bro, it's strong out here. So
Nah.
Wi-Fi
like like
suppression.
like 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 you mentioned, Tony, I did on the last podcast, I did mention one of the main reasons why maybe the council would want to keep this city manager is for the knowledge as they go through the search process. But as we all on this podcast are aware of, over the years of having to see Kyle Hayes' face from Mayor Moore, from Mayor Lloyd, from Guy Goodson to Mayor Ames to Mayor Mouton. Yeah, it is definitely time to see and acquire somebody that will be, I guess, engaged and engaging with the broader population or the broader populace of the city of Beaumont. One that would, at least present the city with a path or a direction in where we want to go after hearing from your elected officials on different things that they have expected or have expectations to see within their ward. But you could, like I mentioned to Perry, you could do that with anybody. You could, as you mentioned, hire an interim city manager, cut Kyle Hayes completely off tomorrow, have a interim city manager in tomorrow, uh, begin the search process for an official city manager tomorrow, and save you a bunch of money, because I'm quite sure the contract for Kyle Hayes is not up in December and or maybe June or July or whenever.
No, 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 no,
So
no.
you would
No,
have to.
I say he's retired. So why is it he retired? And
Well, I'm
hey, that's up to the
again
city
like
manager. Now you got to remember who he works for.
correct.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
All
Well,
right.
I mean, and for me, and I was listening to this on the first half, and as I was telling Donna, she was making a little joke about being here in Fort Lauderdale. We face the same thing here. We just got through with a crazy contentious race for Alcee Hastings seat that I won't even go into. But to the point that you were making, Tony, and everyone was making, here's the real part about it. If you get an interim or even find a permanent city manager that is strong and on the ball, there's a great chance that person isn't going to stay, because that person is really going to shake up the status quo. And so either you get somebody with the status quo, or you be prepared. Up here, we just had a guy in in Opelika. You may have seen it on the news. A young mayor. He was changing things in Opelika. And he got up this past Wednesday in the middle of city council and said, "I resign. It's too much corruption here."
Wow.
Yeah.
He said it. It's too much.
Yeah.
And so we have to understand that if we're going to put our best, it's not just going to be that person. That person has to have all of us behind him or her.
Correct.
Because otherwise, the forces against them are really going to, as Acevedo just the former sheriff in Harris County who came down to Miami, and they gave him his hat in 6 months because the city manager didn't like him. These and we know this about Beaumont. We know these forces in Beaumont are old, and they're not gonna go without a fight.
Yeah.
So picking one person is not gonna do it, because I honestly, if that dais stays the same, nothing's gonna change.
Well, inject. Oh, it got real quiet, didn't it? Well, let's go here. I tell you what.
There's a comment.
I got a comment. Yeah. Let's see. Find out who's that comment is from, and I want to make sure I put this name out here. Unless he's done it. It's the
It says
city
Facebook.
council, like the military. Didn't know there was a terminal leave before retirement. City council.
Like Christmas Exodus. He's taking an exodus before he retires.
Yeah.
Before his last day of work. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, has the city approached him to buy out the contract? I mean,
No.
I'm just saying. It seems like Kyle gets to say when he leaves, and that's not Kyle's. That's not Kyle's job.
No,
Well, I mean, do they have a prospect for the job yet?
Nope.
No.
Regardless.
Well, yeah, no, they need
You're
to
gonna
get
have
one.
to go through the
Who
prospecting
steps up for the
position
job
regardless.
once he says he's retired? Who does it?
They're gonna have
They-
to go through the search process regardless.
Yeah.
If
So
he,
is that
if he
the reason
drops,
why?
Or
if he
not,
leaves
or
today,
not, or not.
if he leaves today, they're gonna have to start the search process. And if he leaves in June, they still gonna have to start the search process between now and January
Oh
in
yeah.
order to find a sufficient city manager in an efficient amount of time.
Right. So maybe he's doing an interim type thing.
No, this is something that should have been on the council's agenda from day one of being elected.
Right.
Finding a new city manager.
Right.
You
Where was their
resoundingly
contingency
heard-
plan?
Right. You resoundingly heard from your elected body an informed electorate saying that we need a new city manager. Now that the city manager has again put in for retirement, again, I'm going to say the city manager has put in again for a second time to retire from the city of Beaumont after the first time, which I was under the impression,
Amen.
which was a tort reform. And then we have this, which tort reform, which is illegal, by the way. Now we have this. I don't understand it. I'm like you, Tony, Terry, and Tony and Terry and Perry, like and LaDonna, and everybody else that has contacted me, especially after they heard that he was resigning. They was like, "Well, I thought he already resigned. We didn't agree to a contract again to go." See, but that's when you have to be in tune with your elected official and the decisions that they yes on council.
I think they're scared.
We know they scared.
I think
because
they're scared.
again,
I
I'm gonna
think
say
they just
if
don't
they're
want
not,
change. And
It's
change
gotta
is
have change to make it
uncomfortable.
right.
And
You don't have
oftentimes you gotta
leaders.
do something that you've never done to get something you've never got, and they're not capable. Well, the new board, they're new too. So I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
I'm just
No.
gonna say that change is inevitable.
Right.
But I will say, based on the way we do our elections and the outcome of our elections, we don't elect leaders. We elect the Negroes that end up in front. And that's what we
There
had.
you go. There you go.
Francis, what you laughing about?
man,
I'm
brother,
laughing
you
at the
almost-
banner
Oh.
amongst the folks here, and these people wide up.
Yeah.
These people wide up on here.
Yeah.
I thought we were just having good conversation.
That
I mean,
is it. That's what LaDonna say. There you go.
And also we have
I'm
another
just
guest.
glad that we're having this conversation because I've been really concerned about the city manager position. And I didn't know if anybody else was going to take into account that the city manager is retiring. And what are we going to do? Are we going to pull somebody from New York City or San Francisco or South Carolina or Oregon or Iowa or Chicago when we need to have a Beaumontian that is standing true on the principles of what Beaumont can do, or we gonna go look for somebody somewhere else from some other place, and then we gonna be like, oh, El Paso, get the
Okay.
rope, and then
Okay.
they not gonna
Okay.
know nobody, they not gonna have no
Okay.
relationships, and we gonna
Okay.
be looking at them to the side.
Okay.
Let me say
I was
this.
just
Let me say
wondering, what
this.
what are
Let me
we
say
gonna
this.
do?
Let me say this. After you took us, you knocked us off the air on the first podcast tonight, and
And
now
she's
you're
starting
gonna get.
trouble now.
Yeah, well, look,
Her
she
and
knocked us
Perry.
out. She like knocked us out on the last podcast. We was in 30 minutes into it, and she knocked us dead off the air. Okay, pushing buttons. I gave her admin duties, and she just went crazy behind the keyboard.
My
Anyway,
cell phone is a different thing than my
yeah, well, you
computer. Don't
leave that
start that,
cell
Tony.
phone alone when you try to do production work behind the scenes. All right, now what I was saying before you totally interrupt our first show tonight, that we need someone with, and we, it doesn't matter what color. It could be black. It could be green, white, gray, yellow, fella, banana. It don't matter as long as he's a qualified
Yeah, he's
city manager.
capable.
He's
Yeah.
capable of growing us, having creative ideals. Because right now we've been stagnant for the last 20 years because we got a
And
single
plus,
city,
and
right?
some.
And some. So, this is me, and I hope somebody from city council is listening, or someone is listening, or watching, or may watch it soon, to say, "Hey, listen, we need new ideas. We want fresh ideas. We want someone that's qualified. It don't matter if he's black as in shoe polish. I don't care if he's whiter than snow. He's yellow mellow. I don't care what color he is, long as he is a qualified, bona fide city manager that is capable of moving us in an upward and progress way. Because right now, we ain't got shit. And we had never
Right.
had it. And the city manager we need. Hey, let me get started. Hold on. So this next city manager comes in here. He must, and they must put that in contract. He must be responsible for getting rid of the police chief.
Okay.
You nobody? No, can somebody
Okay.
talk back to me? Somebody talk, like the preacher said, can somebody talk back to me?
Hey man,
Wait a
life.
minute, huh?
Terry, we
Yeah.
can't
Terry
hear
trying to
you.
talk. Okay, I'm sorry, Terry.
You done cut Terry
I'm
completely
sorry,
off.
Terry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. I want to say this because I'm gonna have to leave off in a minute.
Uh-huh.
We, us as citizens, no matter who's going to be elected as a city manager, we as citizens have to become better managers of our city. Because after all, it's always more of us than it is of them. We can sit back and we can blame everybody for everything, but we have more power just sitting in our house than those people have that's sitting up there behind, for council. We have to become better managers of our city. I used to blame a lot of people for a lot of things that I could have took care of myself. And that's why I became a better manager of my situation and try to help become a better manager of our city. We gotta stop blaming people and start taking, you know, advantage of what
Accountability.
we know and
Yeah,
what we can do.
correct.
And until we do that, we're gonna continue to talk about the city manager. We're gonna talk about everybody until we become better managers of our city ourselves. Because it's a lot of us. It's a lot of us that more than they are. And you just gotta know how to fight. Like I say, Perry taught me a lot. He told me to get off Facebook and read. And that's what I did. And I learned. You got to be a better manager of the city yourself. So you become the city manager and do what you need to do to take care of what you got going on.
You got it plugged up.
That's all I have to say, Tony.
Oh, okay, baby. Go ahead and finish washing your dishes.
No, I'm trying to cook for my wife, man. Trying to cook for my wife,
Yeah,
man. You know, she the
go wash
boss,
them dishes,
man.
but don't bust them suds.
I ain't
Don't bust
running
them
that deal. I
suds.
gotta cook.
You gotta cook.
Haley,
Ah,
Man, I gotta cook for my wife, man.
Hey,
it's eight
that's
after. It's 5 after 8. You just now start to cook. Well, she
Yeah,
begs you
well,
get up and
she
start
get off
cooking.
late, so.
You better be
But
hot.
that's all I wanted to say. You know, we're gonna have to become better managers of our
Yeah, I
city.
agree
that's
with you.
right. That's right.
Stop blaming
So right.
people.
That's
Stop
right.
blaming
We need to
everybody
also help them.
for a
We need to
problem. So
help them too.
go up to
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
council meetings and say
accountability
what you gotta say and stop saying it,
Haley.
you
right,
know.
and work
Say
with
it.
them.
And if
Yep.
they don't listen to you, then vote them out.
Vote them out. That's it.
If they
Even
don't
even
listen to you, vote them out.
even
Man,
your
I keep trying to tell,
friends. Even
and
your
most of the times you
friends.
don't even, and like Terry said one of the most profound things. It's more of us than it is them.
Anyway, bring
And
it up.
not saying that as if it's
Hurry
a
up.
power struggle, but it's a decision that we really have to make. Whether or not, like he said, are we going to manage our city
Hurry up.
as well as the city manager? Now, as far as electing a micromanager, that's not what I elected. I didn't elect a micromanager. I elected somebody that will give me access and accountability in every aspect that they portray. And if they can't do that, I'm the individual that will raise the hand and say, I'm not going to wait a whole another election. There is a recall process for you to come sit your ass down with the rest of us
Right.
because I live in Texas and I have the power of a recall. Even even Hot Wheels does not have to still be in the seat until the election comes about. Stop waiting for the election where you wait for the election and now you're way past the problem you had before. You got
Mhm.
30 more problems in between you. Stop waiting for the election to come about and recall these sons of guns out of office quick. You have the power. You have the numbers. All you got to do is just say it one good time. I want you out of office, and here are the signatures that feel the same. And one or two things is going to happen. The state is going to say there's a recall process on our hands. How do we address it? What they go to the candidate or the elected official and tell that elected official there's a recall process in your favor. This is the procedures. They go through the procedure. If your House and Senate does not find discrepancies as you do of who put these elected officials in office, especially in your local, county, state offices, they gotta go. That's when you vote them out. That's when
Mm,
you vote
Mm,
them out
don't
yeah.
because
wait.
you found out that those individuals are not conducive to your progress.
Right.
Right. Right. And if you're not careful, then you end up in a situation like Flint where you become so dysfunctional. And and Beaumont has gone through that from the school board side, and you see how long that process takes to reconstitute itself.
Right,
Right.
right, right.
And so it is. It's paramount that you have a voice in saying who your leaders are, or the powers that be will show you that they can really put leaders in
Correct,
charge.
Mhm.
correct, correct. Especially when they neglect you and you know they try their damnness to keep you from that process.
Yeah,
And I tell a lot of people stop falling into the process. I'm not gonna vote because they want to do what they're gonna do what they want to do anyway. That's the stigma that they have placed in in African American communities, like they did the project. Stop playing, man.
Right.
yeah. Well, I mean, and I got a piece out this week that we're doing where we talk about it. I said, people always tell me politics, man, that's just a game. And I will agree with you. It's a game. Okay, so what game is it, and what are the rules? You can't say it's a game and then you know the rules. Every game has a rule. Everybody knows how to play. So what game is it most like? And if I'm willing to say it's most like chess, then that means that we have to be strategic
Strategic, right?
and tactical.
Right. Correct. Correct.
Those aren't the same thing.
Correct.
And unfortunately we do. In black politics, because we are so new to this. This iteration of black politics is really what, 40, 50 years old?
Maybe
The post civil rights did right. Yeah. The post civil rights. This group we grew up, but we still playing checkers in this chess game. Cause we like kings and kings get to call shots. Fuck what they saying about Trump. We got our own kings too. And until we start being real about our situation, we not gonna change that situation. That's just like the folk going to Jesus. He's like, give to Caesar what's Caesar's. That's Caesar. So what? Again, we got to know our game and the rules of that game, and then understand the strategies and the tactics. And for our elected officials, we need y'all to learn how to count
and read.
You know, and let me just say this: it actually, let me use my radio voice.
Oh shit!
Uh,
I ain't for that shit tonight, Tony. I've been up praying, almost trying to get mine. Don't do this.
I almost flashback. But you know, it for that position as a city council, it takes almost 2 years or a little bit more just to learn the job. All right. So here's another suggestion, that a person that's just now becoming a city council, sit down and get your book, learn the job, right. Because it takes 2 years, a little more, to know that job. You get your hands.
But Tony, and the caveat to that, it takes 2 years if you wanted the position.
Right.
Yeah.
If you just got out there and you got out there, come on now, let's be real.
And then you got to look at around. By the time you look around, it's the next election. You know,
again, like I said, you're sitting in that seat for 40 years.
Yeah, but it takes a
and
lot.
And it's not even just about that.
Who's turning your mic on? I thought I turned your mic on. It's been a good day for you today. You knocked us off the air.
Hey man,
you knocked off the air. People are listening right now who watching on this. This young lady over here is my co-host, and she's down.
Tony, with all the things that you've done down throughout the years, I know that you're not talking. Let's say this: today is my first day that you've ever given me control of the board, and I had it on my cell phone. And I know you're not talking with all the names you've botched and all the shows that you've messed up and all of these different things. Now, please don't take me there at the roundtable talk. Now, today's my first day, and I'm going to give you guys a smile, but don't do that.
You need to go back. You need to go home and play with it on the computer.
I got you, sis. I got you.
You thought it was just PlayStation 5.
I'm saying is I've been through a lot of things.
I gotta be able to show up so we can get our the subscribers, and you knocked us dead off the air.
You know what? And we have probably one of the best shows that we'll ever have. But here's the thing. One thing they know is all the mistakes that you've made, I won't do that. I'm learning today.
I'm gonna make 4 or 5 mistakes tonight before we go off there. anyway, we talked about enough about the city manager. It has that was just disturbing. I guess
I think we should talk about the gentleman that's missing.
Where is he? Okay, we'll
we're
let you
trying
do it.
to find
Let
the
you do it,
guy
Tom.
that's missing.
Okay. Oh, the guy is missing. Oh, yes. We had a show about 3 weeks
On
ago.
Sunday? No,
No, about 3 weeks
it
ago.
was Sunday.
No.
No, no. Sunday.
Which guy is missing? How many people missing?
No. You and I made that.
Well, there you go,
What other guy missing? We talked
Francis,
about
because he want to play me.
and
And
we
he
Oh,
don't
talked.
even know when the
the
guy was
gentleman.
missing.
We talked about. We had Mrs.
Yes, that went 3 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago. That wasn't Sunday. Who we had on the show Sunday?
That was last Sunday.
I know that.
remember.
You see, you trying to make me feel like I'm in dementia or something.
He say in it. He say in it.
Hey, in dimension.
Yeah, it scared me too. It scared me too. I thought I was. I said, damn, I'm going, and I can't remember. We had Eugene
I
Howard
forget
who was
today
running for
too.
Congress or Texas Congress
Right.
Sunday. You remember? And his
Yes,
Wi-Fi
yes.
his internet was
And the
slow.
previous Sunday, we had the gentleman whose wife was
Thank you. The
Right,
wife.
right,
That's it.
right.
Look,
one
I
week
was like,
ago to
Right, Miss
around.
I was gonna
Miss
say.
Patrice Phillips, who miss her husband been missing for 3 weeks. Now it's 4 weeks, and they have not found him yet. And she said that when she reported her husband missing, the day of his missing, they told her she had to wait until the detectives come back from vacation before they start their visit with her.
What?
Yes, sir.
Chris, your mic is muted.
That's right. His name is Ed Phillips.
I'm kind of glad it was music.
I'm kind of glad
That was
his
some
wife was
profanity.
Yeah, because I saw that.
too.
Right.
Wait. So wait, Tony. Wait. You can't take a statement. You can't
No.
put
The
out a
police
missing
did not
person
even
because
come to the
everybody
house.
on vacation. Man, get the.
Hey, this is what the lady
She
said.
where she stay at?
Is
I
it
give
in the
you
pear orchard?
for
In
pear
the
orchard.
hood by
The
us.
pear orchard. There ain't no hood in the pear orchard.
Okay, well,
She's
anyway,
in the
she
pear
stays
orchard.
near us, where
I want
we're
y'all to
from.
stop.
Across the tracks on near Shoshone and Houston and Church
Right,
Street and
Oh,
right,
LGU.
right. Her name is
okay.
Patrice uh, Phillips,
Mm-hmm.
and her husband name was Ed Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
He was a '68 graduate of Charlton Pollard High School, and he'd been missing for. He went to the store on Washington Boulevard and Avenue A, and he never came back. So,
He
And
like
he's
walked.
she
been missing since then,
walk, and
walking.
she said that
Not this. Not this.
he's there every day. He comes. She sees him every day, and she knew that something was wrong. When they went to the house, his
Not
bed was
only that, I've been to the store. So just to cut through the podcast, these are people that know him.
Mm-hmm.
They know this guy. They seen him before. The people that noticed him going to the store, they knew that he went to the store. What they didn't see was him come back. In which case, the people that are in and around the store, we've questioned them. I have, my sister has, my family members have. Not just on, oh, he's missing, but this is also my insured. This is my insured. This is somebody that I have a relationship with, sort of like Christopher Shaw. These are people that I know. These are not people that are from a far off land, in a far off place, in a far off diaspora. These are people that are in the same neighborhood, that drive the same streets, that are in connection with the same people that I'm in connection with on a day-to-day basis. And most of us know each other, right? Most of us have some sort of ongoing relationship with each other, which is strange.
well. Also, she said that he's a 71-year-old man, and thank you. Some of our Facebook users here is letting us know he was last seen on a Ring doorbell, uh,
Going to the store.
going to the
Yeah,
store on
October.
October the
Yeah,
20th.
she did mention that. She
Right,
mentioned that
right,
during.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, right, and that's the last time they seen him.
The
yeah, and
store didn't
Yeah,
have any video.
his
that's what
wife
I was
name was
wondering.
Patrina. That's Patrina McCord Phillips. That's her name. She's the wife of Ed Phillips, and it's just a shame that
I can't
he
believe
had
a
to wait.
store would not have any cameras.
Any
Yeah,
footage,
yeah,
right?
right. Footage on that, and still have not seen it. Now,
This
another
has been
Facebook
on
user
Channel
is
12
telling me
News, and there is an
Google
Amber
said it's
Alert,
been
but
on
this
the
is the
news.
first I've heard. But
Google says it's been on the news 12, and there is Amber Alert, but this is the first I've heard. I heard of Amber Alert myself,
yeah,
because I know that it doesn't make any sense for a man to be missing now 4 weeks, and she had to wait a week before she got a detective to come
Yeah.
to the house because
Yeah. I thought federally it was the silver
he,
alerts went out over
that's what I was gonna
65.
yeah,
say.
he was
Silver
on.
Right,
Alert.
Yeah,
right,
right,
like
and
automatically.
he was on
Yeah,
vacation. He was on vacation.
I
The
thought Amber
detective
Alert was
who
for
was
something
assigned to
else.
it was on vacation, so she had to wait for the detective to come back so she could tell them the husband was missing.
But I don't think it even goes that far for a silver alert.
No, it doesn't.
All
And
you have to do is say someone over 65 is missing.
right,
You
Well,
say how
here's
old
the
he
thing
was?
about Beaumont.
68, 70 or
no,
something.
71 years old. Yeah,
According to the people that have responded to the missing persons complaint, there are certain restrictions and situations that have prevented them from looking for a certain amount of time. And during another certain amount of time, they were restricted to what they could do. You know, it wasn't a John Benet Ramsey or a whatever name is Petito. It wasn't none of those. So this is something that, you know, uh what was the lady name who the boyfriend and they came up missing?
I
I
know
was
you
so many
talking
missing
about. I know you
people.
Who,
talking
Lorena
about.
Bobbitt?
No, the
No,
latest lady, the latest one. The lady
Oh,
came up
okay,
missing,
I
and
know you talking
the
about.
My current
boyfriend.
events are.
Yeah, I know you talking
yeah, you
about.
know
I
what you're
can't
talking about.
remember her
Yeah.
name. She
Yeah.
was a Karen.
The one of many. Yeah.
Right.
It
That's all
wasn't
you
one of
hear.
those names, so it
That's
wasn't
I tell you
national
what.
news.
That's our faithful people tell us where where our Facebook people tell us where we are. We'll say, okay, okay, wait a minute, hold on. Here we go. Officer
Officer
Garcia
Garcia.
was on vacation and she had to wait 13 days for him to return so that he can investigate her missing husband.
Well,
Oh,
Wait,
another thing.
That is
Wait,
on
Tony.
you wait a
Let's
damn
repeat
minute.
that for the
Wait
people
a
in the
damn
back.
it
minute.
only
Wait
happened
a
right
damn
here.
Wait,
minute.
wait,
It
wait,
only
wait,
happened
wait.
right here in Beaumont,
Nobody
Texas.
talk.
Okay.
Back it up, Tony. Repeat that for the people in the way far back, please.
She had to wait 13 days until Officer Garcia come back on vacation so he can investigate a missing person.
and is I have a good. So is Officer Garcia? Is Officer Garcia a detective or an officer?
I think he's a detective.
Well, let
Okay.
me say
He
this.
had got to be because he was the only one.
Yeah. Now it was one guy.
Wait,
Now I thought
his
Technically,
hand up, my hand
technically,
up,
But
everybody.
look,
look,
but
even
look.
my finger
Hey,
there.
the only one.
is Officer Garcia the only detective that's handling missing persons, and or is he the only one
We only
handling
have one damn investigator.
civil, like senior missing persons?
I don't.
And even if he is, or even if he ain't, the
Somebody
woman
else
that
in
was
that damn
missing
office.
with the Potito case, with the man, with the white boy, they was all over that, and it didn't take them 13 days to do it.
No,
They
no.
had a
Huh?
nationwide campaign on CNN. NBS, CNBC, everybody was on it by looking for where she was at. I'm just
That's right.
saying, I want to put my hand up and say,
And I want
what
those
news
who.
group we got to get with to get him looked for?
Hey, okay, listen. I want those who did not see the show with Miss Katrina Phillips, the wife of Ed Phillips, who's missing. If you did not see that show,
Yeah.
please
Mm,
go to
mm.
Knowledge is Power Podcast dot
But
live.
but but but
And
oh, okay,
you
okay.
can see that
October
show
21st.
in its entirety. Or you can go to
Hold
YouTube
on.
and look up the name of it is Amber Alert. That's the episode, Amber
Donna,
Alert.
you on mute, huh?
Okay, now one at a time. Now I know y'all fired up now because wait a minute. Now wait a minute. I still want if one of my city council listening or watching, I still want that police chief. Okay, let's go.
I'll let you go
All right,
first.
now you see why we want
Well, my
change.
hand is up for
Okay,
this.
go ahead.
My
Okay, go ahead.
hand was up. Okay, because he let me go first, but my hand was up for this. What do we have to do to make our missing persons nationwide the way they had a search going on with dogs and horses and cows and people and pigs and whatever
House.
looking for certain people? What do we have to do to garner that sort of uh support and registration to get everybody going? Because if it was an oh uh, uh if somebody else was missing, there would have been dogs, cats, horses,
Not to cut you off.
cows,
Not to cut
pigs,
you off. When I was
all the groups and persuasions would have been smelling salts and whatever they need to be doing to be out on location to be searching for people, and we would have had a nationwide survey going on.
okay, it's the color of your skin. You're right. I mean, hey, you got to be the right color for them to look for you. But just last week, the headline news, the top story on the news
That
last
was
week, I
trending
saw it
last week.
with about a damn dog missing. And they had the whole west side looking for the dog. Now we
They
got a
have
grown
horses looking for the dog.
we got a grown
They
black
had cows
man
looking for the
that
dog. They
they
probably
sent
had pigs
one
looking for the
detective.
dog. They probably had everything
They
at
sent
their
they,
disposal.
they
They
sent
brought
one
everything
they
out.
sent one bootleg detective out there to see about her 13 days later. That's bullshit. Go ahead.
I expect them to give us bullshit. I ain't surprised they gonna give us bullshit. In 13 days, okay. I understand they fucked up. But in 13 days, this lady didn't have nowhere in the community to go to. All these motherfuckers who act like they got all the
Come
inside
on,
on
civil
everything,
leaders.
and then y'all can't call somebody and say, hey, look, man, we got somebody out here. They leaders, I'm talking about my leaders in my community. 13 days went out on our leaders as well.
On their watch.
And this was in the hood. So Antioch, Cathedral of Faith, what's the ones right around the corner?
Harvest for
All of
Lost
them could have
Souls.
put out a filler for
The one
all
on
their
Washington.
members to get together and join together and band together and figure out
The
what is
dollar
going on.
store.
Don't
All
make me
these
get started because
businesses.
it's a bunch of groups
These are
You
our
said
people.
together.
Valero Mobile. You said Avenue A and Washington Boulevard. That's Valero Mobile, Popeyes, uh, Martha's, the Dollar Store,
They was out looking for the dog.
AutoZone.
Our folk was out looking for the dog too.
Stop.
What?
So
I don't think
Well,
so.
shit, we already know here in the city of Beaumont that the dogs get better treatment. Well, let me not say just the dogs, but the pets get better treatment or the animals get better treatment because there was a budget. There was a budgeted item for the city of Beaumont to turn their animals place to a shelter, and from a shelter they no longer killing dogs, so now you the citizens are paying for upkeep of dogs and cats, any other animal that they so see fit to maintain. But you could ride over a possum for days in the road until it become a fur ball, or any other dog
Now,
or
I,
cat.
I'm,
Y'all shady.
I must say this now.
Oh no,
I'm
my
gonna say
shade is
this.
real.
The
You fuck around and freeze in this shade.
now, I gotta say this. Miss Katrina Phillips reached out to the mayor of Beaumont, Mouton. The Mouton had Miss Katrina to contact us. Now this is power. We put Miss Katrina Phillips on the air on a podcast, and that what got the message out. But it still has not done enough because we're doing a good talk, but
You're
we're not
still trying to
doing
find the
more.
man.
Right, we're still trying to find a man. We should have gathered and did a search walk in those 3-4 blocks area to see if we can find that man.
Well, he's still missing. We
He's
still
still
can.
missing.
Right.
He's still missing.
We still can because he's without his
Not only
medication.
that, why haven't anybody navigated a situation to look the bushes and the wild trees and the wise area of the hood over, where we can see if this is a possibility where this guy may be, because he's only got a small window from the people that know him to where he goes. We could have gathered some people around. I'm just sure if it would have been another group, a lot of people would have gathered around with horses and dogs and cows and whatever they could bring to bear.
It's the cows for me.
And flashlights and situations and all of these things would have been put to use to make sure that this man wasn't in a shallow grave or somewhere close by, nearby, that we had overlooked and overseen, or maybe been passing by and we didn't know. But I don't see where the Beaumont Police Department or City Council or Jefferson County has said, we're going to exercise a search group over this area. We're going to scour every street, every road, every bush, every tree, every landmark. We're going to get together and volunteer groups, whatever. We're going to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning and we're going out. I don't see.
I can only speak from my experience. And I'm not saying that this doesn't happen. But y'all, something wrong with this. If, again, she couldn't reach out to somebody. It didn't get anywhere until she got to Mayor Mouton and it got to you all. I'm sorry, you all, but you know what? For me, this is very personal because, hell, I was without my daddy for long periods of time because folk only knew how to call him.
Right.
Not only that,
and so what is going on?
It's
that she didn't know who to call in our community and get some immediate action.
It's knowledge is power.
That's what I'm talking about.
The only
right
place
there,
that you can go to alert the citizens of the Beaumont Black communities to look for somebody that's missing is
a human.
Power Podcast Live. The only place that we can search for a missing person when they're African American. Let me know, because Knowledge is Power Podcast Live need to broadcast itself as a missing person platform for everybody who can't find somebody and something is going wrong. And we need to change the narrative of Knowledge is Power Podcast Live if people are directing them to us to find people that are missing. I just want to be straight. Knowledge is Power Podcast Live was created by Tony Renfro with co-host LaDonna Sherwood and supporting host Francis Larkin. We need to find out if Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is where you go to look for people that are missing. Because I need to know that. In which case, I need to change my hat.
Well, I'm just glad that we was a blessing to this lady to get the ball rolling and letting the community know that this man was missing. And I mean, I'm looking at a comment in the comment box, and I'm gonna read it. They're coming from let me see who is coming from. Burley Nixon McDaniel. And she said, we talk a good game, but we sit on our behinds and
Wait.
wait for
Oh, that
somebody
sound like
else
my
to do the
cousin.
work.
That is
Shame on
Well,
definitely
us.
my
You're right.
cousin.
You're
Knowledge is
absolutely
Power
right, Burley.
Podcast
You are
Live wants to
absolutely
put
correct.
together a search party for
Yeah.
Mr.
And
Ed, so
right.
that maybe we can look for
We
him,
should
and
have got the
maybe
churches together, the ministers together, and try to
That's
find this
who.
missing
That's who.
man.
That's who
I'm just
Perry.
saying,
That's
maybe
who
I need
Perry
to
was
change the
expecting to
message
jump
that
the
I got on
gun
this roundtable talk,
automatically.
Tony.
That's
And
why
I'm not
I
trying to
understand
overstep
his
my boundaries,
aggression.
but I want to say this.
He's
Maybe LaDonna
as a pastor
Sherwood of
kid as
Knowledge is
well.
Power
He
Podcast Live
Right.
realized that,
needs to exercise a
man.
search party. Can all the able-bodied men and women meet me at some locations near and around where this man have been missing? Well, maybe I can exercise a search party so we can look for him, because I don't know if anybody else is.
This man also was on medication. So,
That's what I was saying.
I
That's what
mean, how
that's
can,
my greatest
you
concern.
know,
Of course, finding him, but
first date that you should have had somebody out there looking for
absolutely.
the guy. First day they should have had the police. The police department should have been asked. She's called the police department, but the police
I
department didn't
mean,
show up.
maybe
No
that's
one
up to
showed
me
up.
and you,
They said, "Well,
Tony.
we might have to.
Maybe that's up to me and you, Tony.
We might have to."
Maybe we need to scour the highways and byways and bridgeways and tunnelways and whatever the locations is in the hood where people may be. And maybe we need to get our group together and organize some people where we can say that we've done all that we can do, because we can't depend on nobody else. So while we're looking for somebody else to do something, maybe we together tonight need to exercise something that's looking for Mr. Ed. And I'm not just saying that, but this is a man whose family is my insured. These are people that I know, that I live by, that I represent, that I'm close by. Sort of like Christopher Shaw. I have their insurance. And that don't matter to nobody else. But this man is missing.
Right.
And he used to be in my building. He used to be in my place. He's a really sweet guy. He's not somebody that we should just throw away and pretend like he doesn't exist.
Well, sound like we need to be putting a search party together or something.
Something needs to be done.
It's not right. It's no time for waiting on the other parties.
Hey, and I advise talking to Miss Patrice and Patrina. I'm sorry, Patrina. I'm sorry, I keep saying Patrice. Patrina. And she was just distraught, and she's not going to give up. She wants to find her husband, and I understand, dead or alive, she wants to find him because no one really put any effort in helping her to find him. And my heart hurts right now as I speak because that's a human being. That's somebody's husband.
It's 3 weeks later. It's 3 or 4 weeks later.
So I just hate that this has happened and no one put in an effort in helping find this
I
man.
hate that I haven't seen nobody on horses or dogs barking or people with lights and flashlights and bicycles riding around and running through the woods and making sure, trying to see if these people are. I'm trying to see where these groups at.
Yeah,
the search ain't over yet, or something.
So I'm going to reach back out to Miss Patrina and see where we are on that, and maybe we can come together, LaDonna, for a Saturday search, and maybe that's the Valera store,
The
Exactly.
Valero
Yes.
and the
And I'm not
Valero,
even saying that, Tone.
Valero,
I'm saying like maybe
or
we
in the
should do
Stadium
something
Shopping Center
soon. I mean,
and
maybe
get
we
first
should just
premiere.
do something really, really soon and just sporadic and random and off the cuff. We talking about 4 weeks later. How can
Yeah.
you miss a whole person for 4 weeks that walk to the corner store 2 or 3 blocks from their house and everybody know them and we can't find them? The hood, even anybody on Knowledge Power Podcast Live, if you've seen Mr. Ed who walked to the store, we want to know, where is the last time you seen him?
And
What
what
is
was he
going
wearing?
on?
What was he wearing?
We knew what he was wearing. She said what he was wearing.
Okay.
Someone in us saying said maybe in the morning would be. I think morning would be best. 7 years, so it's cold. Yeah, who said one? You are okay.
This
This
can't
can't
wait.
wait. Yeah, it really can't.
Yeah.
And
I'm
you
just
know,
saying, we can gather the hood. He didn't go that far. Miss Patrina did in her investigation. She said he went to the store on Brockman. He went to the store on Avenue A. He went to the store on Washington Boulevard.
Well, are
These
there
are the
any
stores that he
flyers?
frequent. We need to
Are there any
canvas
flowers
that
flyers
particular
made?
area.
Are
You
there
say
any
what?
flyers made? Anything like door knocking? Have you seen this person just close?
no,
No
no
flies have
one.
been made, no door knock have been made, no investigation, no nothing. But I can guarantee you if he came up lost in the West End, it would have been dogs, horses, cows, people, flashlights, bicycles, tricycles, every imagination that you can think would have been deployed
Yeah.
to figure
Uh,
out where
he was
this
he was
man
wearing
of age
he was
have
wearing
been lost at and where he can be found.
he was wearing
Brown and
Because
beige
he is
pants with
lost
the
on
beige and brown
Avenue
striped
A,
shirt.
this is where we cannot locate him.
he was wearing brown and beige pants with a beige and brown striped shirt. So maybe we need to look
I
in.
said what I said.
We're gonna go to the hospitals tomorrow. We're gonna find out if he's missing. Is someone there that don't have it? They have an ID. We're gonna have to do some searching. That we can't just talk about it. We got to do it. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, and also probably need to assign someone to contact the Beaumont Police Department.
And
For
it's
And
what? They
4
ain't
weeks
did nothing
later.
yet,
no,
Tony.
I know
Right,
they
and
ain't
it's
done
No.
Somebody
nothing.
4
fit to
weeks
call
later.
them.
But
Call
my
Call
department took
Equisearch.
vacation and took
Yeah, and
several
yeah.
vacations and
Someone
Yeah.
mentioned
relocated.
Equisearch.
Texas
Couple of
Equisearch. Call
Yeah,
maintenance,
Texas Equisearch.
everything else in the
she
world.
also
And I
contact
haven't
him.
seen Beaumont Police Department deploy any dogs or trains or planes or boats or buses or nothing to make sure that they can find him or whatever it's gonna take. I ain't seen no scouring pads, no volunteer investigations or none of
LaDonna, they
that.
even got a drone, LaDonna. They even got drones.
Yeah.
There you go.
Some nice ones.
I'm talking
Hey,
about them commercial drones, them
hey,
industrial
Yeah.
drones.
you
Yeah.
know.
They've been
Yeah.
testing them too.
But
They
when
Yes,
know.
indeed.
but when they want to
Yes,
put on a dog and
indeed.
pony show, when they want to put on a dog and pony show, they sent they came in on me with like there was a Navy SEAL team.
We're trying to
See?
locate
But that's what I'm
somebody
saying.
that's
Hold on, I ain't
Right,
through.
missing.
right, right,
I ain't
Right,
right.
through.
right, right, right.
Yeah,
We trying
I
to
ain't
locate
through.
somebody that's missing, but we can't locate them.
And I ain't done nothing.
Right. They knew where to find
They
you.
knew where to
They
find
gonna
me.
take their time.
They come in there with their guns on their hands and their hands and shit. I mean,
All
but
I'm saying is
they knew
this.
where I was.
All I'm saying is this. We sometimes have to be found on the front line of what we think is important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, you're right. You're right. And I believe that. And I wait a second. I think something. Wait a bit. I know. I think. Wait a minute. I think I have something here that I might want to share with you. Um,
I'm upset about the way things have been handled about this gentleman been missing for 3 weeks. Because technically, at a certain point, the case is considered cold
Cold.
yeah, it's
or is
cold as
considered
ice
Yeah.
too.
non recoverable
Yeah.
or I forget the words, but it's basically like it's a non-recoverable case. You know why it's non-recoverable? Because the first week somebody was on vacation.
Yeah.
The second week too. That's down there 14
So with
days.
that being said, when it was supposed to be a going on, it was
Alert.
going
Yeah,
on
civil
none
alert.
because we have a limited amount of people that are searching for the missing persons. So when a missing person is missing over a certain amount of time, that means it's something else, right? Am I right or wrong? I mean,
I
y'all
mean,
correct me where I'm wrong.
most of the times, yes. Especially when you have these types of instances and nobody else is investigating it, then that leads the community to believe that there's the investigators need to investigate. The detectives needs to be detected.
Hey,
I mean,
have you
it's
ever
a lot.
known? Have
It's
you
a
ever
lot of
heard of
shady.
that before? This
It's a
is
lot
no
of
better
shady
than
shit going
Mayberry.
on.
There's no Mayberry. You got
I was finna
one.
say the same thing.
I guess J.J. had but one bullet in his gun too.
Right.
For real.
Remember, Barney lost the fugitive in the woods, and they had to find the damn fugitive on vacation. What the hell is going on?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Andy got called off vacation, and
All
I'm
I'm
just
saying
saying.
is I just died twice with this whole situation. I just died 2 times. I know it's the red
Somebody need
table
to
talk and
revive
everybody.
Francis because she been dead, baby. Because Francis over there, she
Right,
was
Francis
deceased
keep cutting
already
herself
enough.
off.
She's like,
I've
no.
been put.
Hey
Because you know
guys,
what, y'all ain't right.
hey guys, here's the our guy here. This is Mr.
Oh
Ed Phillips.
man.
There, yeah, it's Mr. Ed Phillips here. He's been missing
My
since.
sister said that people know him.
Yeah, they
My
do.
sister said
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
see him
Yeah,
all the
you
time.
see me
yeah,
My
pointing like
sister
I know
said,
this
she said, you
dude.
know what? He's a really nice guy. He's
Yeah,
not a problem in the community.
yeah,
I'm telling you what people I know have said. I'm upset about this.
yeah. He's been missing since Wednesday,
wow.
October the 20th. Last seen in the
October
Pale Archer area in Beaumont.
It's
Court video
November
was
the
run.
goddamn
And
how many?
sixteenth.
if you
60.
people if you see this picture, if you have any information on him or know this whereabouts of this man, please contact the Beaumont Police Department or call 911. And again, if you want to hear it in detail, go to our podcast page or go to YouTube and look up Knowledge is Power Podcast Live and search for the video. The topic name is
We
Amber Alert. You can see the entire 30 minutes of Miss Patrina
any information that you
talked about
have.
the situation, how it happened, when it happened, what the results, and she didn't get any results. Okay, she didn't get any results because if you're looking for a man, your husband is missing, and you got to wait 13 days until the detective come from one detective to come back from vacation. That's unacceptable. And if we continue to let this go on,
Anybody,
it's going to continue to go on. If we continue to allow this to happen, it's going to continue to go on.
anybody with any information that have seen this gentleman, that know his potential whereabouts, Knowledge is Power Podcast Live is beseeching you to please contact 911 Crime Stoppers 832-1234. Dial any number that you may know that can help us in the search for Edward Phillips. We're looking for him.
That's about wrap our show up, everybody. We thank you
Hey,
for watching
wait. What
us.
about the
Oh,
black students at Lamar?
they never showed up.
Oh,
We never
okay.
showed up. So
We
we
do
try to
want
get
That
to
was
them.
talk
our
about that
secret
though.
guest
Hey,
because I
hey,
was ready.
matter of fact, if I can get them back, if I can get them to come, let's try to have them on Sunday, okay? So,
I'm with you.
okay, on Sunday, and I'll bring everybody back. All right?
All right.
That's the best.
And whatever you all do regarding this, please share it on Facebook so that we can share it amongst ourselves.
Right.
Because
Correct.
again, we have to be cognizant again of even algorithms that are
Right.
against us as
Right.
well.
Right.
And
Right.
Right.
so
I know
Right.
that.
yeah.
I
So
already
as
done
much
told
as we
y'all.
can, yeah. So as much
Yeah.
as we can, because man, this is disheartening.
Yep. That's
I'm
it's
flabbergasted.
unacceptable. It's
Yeah.
totally
I
unacceptable.
will say, in light of the monotony, Ladonna, I appreciate you bringing these cows on this search for this gentleman. I promise that was my tickle for the evening was cows on the search. But you're totally correct because they bring out from one end from A to Z whenever somebody of their diaspora is actually missing. So this is something that I didn't know. Thank you for that information. I will definitely be sharing it because not only do I see the gentleman, but like in in passing by, he's always been a cordial gentleman. So I definitely want to bring ease to our senior population when it comes to instances like this.
And that
Not
he's a guy that everybody knows.
yeah,
So,
not just
just to
building
stop you,
a
he's a guy
senior
that
center.
everybody knows. I know
Yeah,
him. This should not be.
yeah. So just make sure you like Perry said, just make sure y'all communicate the search process. I would suggest we start like around the post office. You said Avenue A, Brockman, Washington Boulevard, that area. You could start, like I said, in the Stadium Shopping Center and span east, south, east, west, in every direction that you possibly can, and then meet back into that
Yeah,
location.
yeah,
Report your findings. Whatever anything that you find
yeah.
that looks to be, disturbed soil, a shirt, a shoe,
Mhm.
anything of that nature, especially being that I know that area does street sweeping, but Avenue A also has some ditches. So, like you
And,
said, LaDonna, making sure that he's not in a shallow grave
Right.
or anything like that, just laying in a ditch of
yeah.
some sort.
And checking the other businesses and people
Right,
on corners. Usually houses on corners have cameras.
Right.
right,
So yeah, so I mean anybody who's doing some recording, I just still find it odd
Or
that
yeah,
that
the store.
store, or maybe it wasn't that store, I don't know, but I find it
right,
odd that no store has him there if a Ring doorbell has him passing.
right. And like Perry mentioned, once the flyer comes out where we can pass out a picture,
Right.
I definitely, as president of the Charlton Pilot, the real South End Neighborhood Association, I definitely want my neighbors to know, because again, we commute to and from these areas,
Mhm.
especially the Stadium Shopping Center, outside of the area, and again, we fellowship with everybody throughout the entire community. So I do want to be able to pass that also to our faith-based
I
community.
need help.
Yes, ma'am. Just
Mhm.
you know me. You already got me. I send y'all a message almost every morning. So just say,
Yeah.
brother, it's time.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you Sunday at 7:30 right
Seven
here
30.
on Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. And please, LaDonna, practice. Practice how to operate this.
You know
Practice
what?
how to
You know
operate
what,
this screen
He
Tony?
so that
can.
you know how to do it.
You know
Don't you
what,
cut us off the
Tony?
air no
All
more.
I want to
We had
say
a
is this.
strong, we had a strong
Even
show
though I
going.
cut us off tonight and start us with a new broadcast, I can guarantee you we improved our viewership simply because of me. So do not play with
Don't
me.
touch that
I would
button.
rather you
Yeah, don't
pray
touch,
with
Don't
don't,
touch
don't
me
that
touch that.
button.
than
Don't
not
touch
play
that.
with me.
Don't
Last
touch
time you
that.
got on, you touched the button. Don't touch
Don't
the
touch
button.
that. Don't touch a damn thing. Guys, y'all pray for me. My mother fell this
Oh
morning,
no.
and she broke her hip, and she's in the St. Louis Luke Hospital, the medical center. She's gonna,
I'm
and
sorry
Oh
to hear
man.
that.
Wow.
they're
Miss Maybell.
transporting her to the Methodist Hospital. So I'm gonna about to close out and get ready to move out to go to Houston to the medical center and see about her. So
Drive
anyway,
safe, Tony.
Give my
y'all,
love
y'all
to Miss
pray.
Maribel.
All right, baby. I appreciate you guys. God bless you. We see you Sunday at 7:30, guys. Okay.
All
God
right.
bless.
Thank you for watching Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Be sure to like and subscribe to all Knowledge is Power social media pages.